Okay.
Go ahead, Sister Muriel. You elected.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Oh Allah, please put our past in a message we can give to our young to carry on this battle of freedom, justice, and equality. Ameen.
My name is Sister Cornelia Muhammad. I go attend Mosque 35 in Wilmington, Delaware, and I came into the Nation of Islam in 1972. Praises due to Allah. Assalamu alaikum.
I'm Muriel Muhammad. I attend Chester Study Group. I came in the nation in 1971. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Sister Verna Kareem. I attend Camden Mosque 20, and I came into the Nation of Islam in 1996. Assalamualaikum.
We drilled, but it was not anything compared to what it is today. We drilled in class, and we were taught to drill quietly. Quietly. Precise and quietly.
Precise and quiet.
Supposed to make a lot of noise. Yeah.
But you lived this, I thought it was gone, past, never happened again. And I found out that some people of today didn't want to hear what was going on back
That's
then.
true.
But yet when we were back there, if we found out that someone lived in the messenger's home and was raised there,
Yeah.
we were all ears. We wanted to hear everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And I just found out that I didn't get that feeling
Right.
from today's believers.
Right. And I agree. I agree. And the young, the Satan has put in them that they don't want anything of the past. You know, it all starts with me.
Oh,
No, it doesn't. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you got to go.
that's right.
And what's ahead for you to be able to at least have a heads up. Knowing your history is very important.
That's right.
You know, everyone wants to know mother and father, who they were, grandmother and grandfather, who they were, what did they look like,
Yes.
how did they act, am I like them, you know. So that's natural.
Yes, it is. And I went to the Nation, and I submitted the first day, Minister Jeremiah, stood up, and then I got ready to do what they told me I had to do, to write the letter. It was in November of 1972. In May of 73, I did receive my ex. And the secretary gave me my name. And from that point on, I never looked back. And I knew that I had found what I was looking for. I took my mother once, and she said, and I said, well, Mom, what do you think about it? And she said, he's telling the truth. And I'm the only one in my family who is Muslim. But that's okay with me.
Then back to what you were saying when you first came into Islam. Well, I had heard Islam, my first introduction to Islam, when I was about 16. And it was not the final call, of course. Muhammad Speaks. And as the brothers was out soldiering, the brother used to be Brother Lockins, in front of the grocery store. The paper was only 25 cents. Whenever I came out, no, I don't have 25 cents. You know the lie we tell. The brother would give me a paper, so I would go home and look through the paper. Interesting, you know. And one time, a family friend of ours, she came and she asked me, "Have you heard about Muslims?" I said, "Yeah, we got a newspaper here." And I looked through the paper. She said, "You ever been to a mosque?" I said, "No." And I was always game to do something different. She said, "Well, let's go to the mosque. Let's see what they do there." I said, "Okay." So I went to the mosque. This was in Flint, Michigan, which is written in Message to the Black Man. And when I heard the truth, I knew it was the truth. I could feel it on the inside. I said, wow, this is the truth. And I'm not ready to do this, because you got to live righteous and all. I could tell that, So, no, I got to go to my senior prom. I got to do some more sinning. And it took from 16 to 20 to let me know that just in that short time, you don't want this world, And then a lot of things happened in that time period of mine too. My Black Power experience, finding out, the white man is the devil, and this is what he done to you, and I was primarily set up to accepting that, and hearing the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the first book, Message to the Black Man, and so that's when the Muslims. I had a job. I came to Philadelphia to school, to Temple University. And I got a job at Bus Stop Record Shop on 60th Street in Market in Philadelphia. Just said. Yes, you remember it. Everything went on. And I realized that this is a world that I don't believe in, but you got to be cool.
Yeah. Yes.
But there was a Muslim brother, an older brother, Brother Andrew. And he was a soldier right there on that corner. He would come over to the record shop and make sure that I had a paper. And he invited me, to come out to the mosque. And I started going out to the mosque. I heard Minister Jeremiah. He would throw the Bible down and stomp on it. And say, see, it's okay. And that was when reality comes into your brain. And from that point on, I was ready. But I didn't get ready to go in and say, look, I'm ready to submit. Until I heard Minister Farrakhan in May of 71, when he came to Temple University and he spoke at a conference, a Black Culture Conference. That's what we was having on campus. And he spoke, and I said, wow, this is what I want. And it's time for it now in my life. I have nothing else to turn to, either the world and go crazy, or be some type of weirdo crazy someplace. And that's when I submitted. But it was off the words and the lecture of Minister Farrakhan. When coming into the mosque, as a woman in Islam, when you want to be the best that you can be. Well, our training units, the cooking, we had lieutenants that you know very well. They were serious, and we wanted to learn. So it wasn't any, I don't want to do that, or no. You wanted to learn, and they were there to teach you, and they were like your parents. They were like your a mother or an aunt. So you were open to change. And they taught us we had to know how to bake bread, brown rice, and to make bean soup. And you knew how to do that before you left out of that class.
You got into the full MGT class.
Exactly. You had to stay in cooking 1. You had to bake some bread. And it had to rise, it had to be properly baked bread. Your bean soup had to taste like bean soup. And your brown rice had to be the white rice that was really brown, not dyed, not any other color, because you can taste it. We had to do it right. They showed us how to do it, then you had to do it. And you knew how to do those. Those were survival techniques. And every MGT, she knew how to do that.
That was New Sisters class.
The New Sisters class.
And once you passed that, you went into the regular MGT class.
Right.
And I can remember never baked a piece of bread, never baked a cake in my life.
Right.
And I passed. I think I passed it all, but Sister Florence.
Sister Florence.
Sweet as she was, she knew I was nervous because I was shaking. And she said, well, sister, she said, it could be better. She said, but it's not bad. And I said, thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. I was just take my little stuff and get on out of there. Remember Sister Almeida?
Yes.
Sister Almeida was a hard...
Yeah, she was a strict sister.
I know because she comes to mind when I see myself with sisters today. I said, now I know how Sister Almeida felt.
Right.
Because sometimes we got out of hand, and we were so much younger than she was.
Mm-hmm.
And she, just, we got on her nerves. And
Wow.
I know now.
Right. Right. I think when we reach that age where I don't want no foolishness,
That's
this is what
right.
we're going to do.
That's right. If she looked at you, you knew you was doing
Right.
something wrong.
And you're supposed to come in, and you're supposed to submit,
Mm-hmm.
and
right.
get it and go move
Mhm.
on.
That's right.
And then also we had a maternity class.
Mm-hmm.
And in our maternity class, especially in Philadelphia, we were blessed to have two sisters who were nurses and a midwife.
Mm-hmm.
We go over her house, and at her house, we would learn all about our pregnancies and how important it was and how to take care of ourselves.
Take care of the baby.
And your husband is right there with you,
Mm-hmm.
and we were being taught how to give birth to a God in actuality
Mm-hmm.
before the lecture came out.
Mm-hmm.
And they told us about the hospitals, what to expect in the hospitals, what not to submit to, and knowing that your husband in the time when my first baby in 73, I believe it was, then husbands were not allowed automatically in the delivery room.
No.
That's what they would tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But the sister, since she was already working in that capacity, that she knew how to get around that. Tell your doctor that you want your husband there with you, and that would be allowed.
Yes.
He would be your protector.
Mm-hmm.
Also, every phase of your pregnancy, they took it through. They took us through it,
Mm-hmm.
and they made it not a task, but a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
That we were bringing life, into the world. We're bringing little Muslims, little guys into the world, and how we were to raise them and take care of ourselves also, which is very important. And then you still had the sisterhood. You weren't on the outside, just out of the mosque at this particular time, but you had the sisterhood of both, your husband, brothers, and other sisters in the same situation. It was just another phase of our teaching. And my husband was there with me,
Oh, okay.
and that was important too. The brothers, they were educated too about what's happening to their wife and their role, into taking care of her and maintaining her and that child.
And that was needed.
Yes.
Wasn't no deadbeat dads.
Yeah, she had a
Not the
baby,
nation.
no.
Not in the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came and I was pregnant. I was pregnant with my son.
Right.
Yep, because I had him in '97. But I went, and then when I went, I remember seeing Minister Rodney, and I was like, "Who is this gentleman?" I'm like, he can talk. And then I remember seeing my husband now. Then I would see these beautiful sisters coming through. And I said, oh my God, they look so good. So then I got inspired, and I had one sister. Every time I come on Sunday, Sister Rhonda, she will always say, she would talk to my son in my belly, and she would act like it was just only me. And she would, Sister, why don't you come on out to MGT class? And I was, sure, why not? I'll try. Ever since then, I was hooked. Came in, got my acts, just kept rolling after that. And just absolutely loved it. I knew, because I was in search for a home. Yeah. But it's been such a great journey. I just absolutely love being in the nation. I love it. And I pray that Allah continues to keep me like that. Because it's just helped me and my family tremendously. Yeah.
You wouldn't want a husband who never went out, never paid charity,
Never sold newspapers.
never sold a newspaper. No, you don't. Those were no-nos.
Right.
You want a brother who was active.
Right.
And to me, when I look at a brother, as it was in Philadelphia back in that time, from 72 on up till 75, I'll say, in West Philadelphia, I would get in my car and I would go down to Market Street, and get out the car and look up and brother's scared. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Open my door for me. Where you going, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Going to the store. Okay, and he'd stand right by my car until I came out. And he'd close the door, lock the door, sister, you okay? Salam alaikum. And that spoiled a lot of, I know it spoiled me. I was used to having brothers around. I was used to having brothers coming up to me when I least expected them to. And because they knew that at one point I was single because my husband went to prison. And if I called a brother, I've had flat tires on Belmont Avenue, and
Right.
they'd come fix my tire, and it was just an amazing time.
Yeah.
And you really saw a true FOI,
Right.
really a true FOI.
Had, as far as respect for the woman, especially an MGT, say back in the day, you would have a drunk, and I've had a drunk. We would walk into MGT class. They would be rocked out. You walk past them. Oh, I'm sorry, sister. I'm sorry, sister.
Salam.
Yeah, trying to get it out, trying to greet us.
Yes, yes, they knew.
And they knew, they knew that they respected us. They really respected us. And the brothers, they were always there to open and close our doors, with no problem.
Yes.
And we were thankful for that.
Yes, I know.
I felt very well protected, even as a single sister in Philadelphia, not from that area. I felt really protected that, the FOI is going to take care of me. I had a situation one time where, they did, hey, all they mentioned is that Nation of Islam. And the man got, I'm sorry. Oh, please forgive me.
Yeah, I remember something like that happening too.
Yeah, so.
There was a lot of respect.
That's right.
Didn't matter whether they were in or not.
That's right. They knew.
They knew the difference.
Don't play with the Muslim sisters.
No,
Don't
mess with those
disrespect
Muslim
her.
sisters. No.
That's right.
No.
So on both sides of the fence, the MGT, we're taught about our heel size to wear. We're in stilettos.
Yes, stilettos.
We're in tight uniforms.
Makeup.
Yeah, makeup. You didn't wear makeup? Oh, no, sir. None whatsoever. No fingernail polish. If you did wear fingernail polish later on, it was clear. But we was always taught that you're baking bread all the time. So you don't wear fingernail polish. You can feel that dough when it's rising. I lived off bean pies as a single sister. That's all I had. When I bought my bean pies, I knew this is what I had to eat for the rest of the week. My bean was in there.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was nourishing.
Yes.
So,
the eggs, the milk,
everything is
that
in
you
there.
needed was in that bean pie.
That's the science that we had. When I was a little girl, the Muslims had a restaurant. Because I remember the smell of the navy bean cooking. I didn't know what it was. All I know, when I walked past this building, these women, they had on long clothes and they were white. Their hair was tied up and everything. It was white. It was a restaurant. But I never went in there. I just would look at them, keep walking. And that was the smell of that bean cooking.
Most everybody wanted sweet potato pies, but you taste that bean pie.
That's it. And then you understand the science behind it, why beans and not sweet potatoes, and that's how they eat to live. And then everybody else will come up with their version of bean pies. That's today what you're dealing with. You're going to have bean pies made all kinds of ways. You receive that in the cooking class, the bean pie recipe.
That recipe, the MGT cookbooks, it's in there, and then they came out with the MGT fish cookbook.
Right. After we
varieties
start getting
of
the
that.
fish. We had to go to the Islam restaurant. And I remember that because one time when I was in there, I was looking toward the door, and I saw a car pull up. And I'm sure that I saw the Honorable Elijah Muhammad look out and to see what the believers were doing. I asked Sister Amina Rasul about that. She said, oh yes, he's known for driving around checking on you, seeing how you're acting out in public.
Right.
Yeah, but I told my husband, I said, look, there's a messenger right there. And he is sitting back.
Yeah.
He said, I don't see anybody. I said, I saw him. There he is right there. Sister Amina Rasul.
Okay.
She was trained by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we would travel once a month on a Tuesday. We would have a Unity, a MGT Unity, there in the restaurant there in New York. And
Yes.
later, of course, when I became a lieutenant, then I would be under her guidance. And also, my greatest experience with her was Madison Square Garden. That was an experience. She gave command. Soft-spoken sister
Soft-spoken.
on her post.
Yes.
You did what she said do, but she was a mother. Yes,
My
sir.
husband's heard me talk about her a lot.
Wow.
Every
yes.
her birthday was October the 8th, and I always try to give her a call or send her a card on her birthday.
She would say that too. Yeah.
Did she?
I visited her
Oh,
last visit in Atlanta when she had moved to Atlanta, and she would come in and be very sweet and motherly still, to us. Yes.
You have to be stern but loving.
Yes.
The women have to respect you. That's the main thing. If the sisters don't respect the sister, she doesn't really have any business on the post.
You have to be balanced with that.
Yes, yes.
They have to know that you're firm, but you're loving. Now, to your lieutenants, they got to know, I don't play. When I tell you to do this, to do that, give you instructions, I expect you to follow my instructions. You have to be balanced with that. Because, you can come out as a captain to the sisterhood, you're loving and you're kind. But to your lieutenants, I mean, you're the same way, but the lieutenants are the one that train you. I don't take no stuff from you. I know the deal. I still love you, but go in there and sit down. That kind. But they never know the captain was the one to get instructions. That's how it's supposed to be. Any problems you have, then you go to your captain. Well, your captain already know. I told your lieutenant to put that on you because I noticed that you don't want to do this and you don't want to do that. That's like being a grandmother and a mother. When you came in, there was a vanguard. You was a certain age when you were in the vanguard. Before you had children, Of course, you already automatically knew. It's not a different kind of uniform. It's not like it was, like it is now, I should say. You were a vanguard. At a certain age, you trained, you did your physical training, you didn't have children. If you didn't have children, then you're free. So you're expected to you can move around more. But
Sister Shaw, Sister Ducey was the vanguard lieutenant in Philadelphia. And like you said, they didn't wear a special kind of uniform, but you knew they were special in the way that they carried themselves. Oh, thank you. The way they carried themselves. And, I noticed that she was nice to the vanguard. She was like a mother to them, but they knew she didn't play.
Right.
She did not play, and so they knew that they had to do what they had to do.
Right.
We were 2 by 2s, 2 sisters walking in a row, going to wherever we went to. We always traveled like that, 2 side by side,
Right.
And you'd see the longest lines of white coming. Broad Street has been held up on many occasions with us going from one building to the other, and people didn't bother them. Cars stopped and they would just look and see us all. Just, here come the Muslim sisters, here come the MGT. Minister Jeremiah was the captain, I mean, was the minister, and Sister Sheila, who was later Intisar, was the captain.
Was the captain. Very progressive captain
at
that time too, and that. She put a spirit in the MGT of modernization and also being very education and developing ourselves and business mindedness too. And using the different arts and crafts. And showing you where you can make money with arts and crafts, just things, the fish, what we did with the fish bones, make jewelry and things like that. So she was a very progressive sister.
Now before her was the Sister
Hattie,
which the sisters, I understand, I didn't know her, I came under Sheila, but that had just happened.
That had just happened.
Yes.
She was of the older mind.
Right.
The
mother type.
Right, exactly. More mothering. And I think Sheila came in with the more the Black revolutionary younger people who came over after, you know, all of the movements had failed, and Islam was the only place you could come to, the Nation of Islam. And that's where a lot of younger people came in with their Black consciousness already in step. And then you had to learn how to live. You know, it's not just being Black, because people played games with that too, but to live a righteous life, you know, and how Islam is a way of life. It's not a fad, it's a way of life. And that happened with her.
Yeah. Yes.